and I would like to share a few thoughts that was enlightened to me when I was reading the Bible. I would like to read a verse from the Bible which actually made me think. Uh, it is from the book of Proverbs, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Well, this is a verse from the Bible, a book from the Bible. This is actually written by a famous king. His name is Solomon. He is the second king of Israel, according to the genealogy of David. He is the second king. Technically, he is the third because of shall we know. So, King Solomon, he was at this young age, maybe the teenage time. He was drawn to the king. He was crowned the king of Israel. He was a young boy, so he don't know what to do because it's a big responsibility lying upon his head. He's a king. He should understand everything, all the financial matters, all the military things. Everything should be under his control. It's all on his head. So he asked our Lord Jehovah. So you can see in the Bible, we can read that he gave. We can see that he gave 1,000 offerings to the Lord at Gibeon. So he gave 1,000 offering, and what happened is that Lord appeared before him in the night. He asked what you need, and he said, I need knowledge and understanding heart so I can discern both good and evil. So this guy who got this amazing knowledge that he was named as, there is no one in the world who has never been that much wise. The wisest man ever lived in the world. Well, he wrote this book. It's an amazing book to read. Everyone should read. Every child should read because it will guide us in every path, because now the world is filled with cunningness and wickedness. You see, all we look at is that there are all business actually happening. There is no morality, there is no ethics actually. All people want is nothing but a profit, a gain. So we are the kids, we are the next generation. I heard a lot of people talking like that. We are the one who's going to shape the destiny of the next our country, the next generation, the new generation. So our Pentecostal generations are getting into the world needs. They're all looking at the world. It's like sparkling gold and diamonds, and we're going after it. And we are actually losing a far more precious treasure that is beyond these worlds. So I would like to talk about a person that actually, two persons that actually amazed me. The first one is a famous person that we all know, Samuel. Who's actually Samuel? Well, if you read the Bible from 1 Samuel, you can see that he is the son of Hannah and Elkanah. Who's Elkanah? Well, you check the Bible, you can see that he was a descendant of the Ephraim tribe. Well, if you read it in the Exodus, Leviticus, all these books that were written by Moses, you can find that God made Levites people as their priest people, or you can see clergymen. But he belonged to an Ephraim tribe. What the difference? He was never meant to become a priest. But what happened? He became the high priest of Israel. Well, you think about it. He was a small child. His mother asked the Lord that I need a child because she was a barren woman. She never had a child. And the God gave her a child, the firstborn of Hannah, and what she did was she gave it the Lord Himself as a gratitude because He heard her prayer. So you can see that she gave her firstborn, the first male that born to her family, and she gave it with wholeheartedly, and we should learn from that. That we should be ready to give everything to the Lord. So If you check it out, you can see Samuel as a small boy who don't know what to do, anything to do. So one day, Lord called him, and you can find that he don't know who is calling him actually. So he went to the high priest of that time, Eli, to ask what happened. Who called me? He said, he asked who called you? Because he went to Eli. So what happened is that he said at last, if anyone is calling you, just say that I'm here for you. So he did the same thing, and what happened is that Lord is the man who appeared before him. Why do you think an Ephraim guy who was never meant to become the clergyman or the priest of Israel, the priest of Yahuwah, you can see that he saw some cunningness, some wickedness, some sin in children of Eli. The two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, they were playing with the God's wishes, or they playing with the God's everything that belonged to the temple. They don't care about the ethics, they don't care about morality, they don't care about the responsibilities. All they can find is that glittering gold and everything. They think it is as a golden opportunity for to be in a good mood. Everything they do it without any ethics and morality. So they found that they are not good, not eligible for this position. So what happened is that Samuel was given that high priest position because Hophni and Phinehas were dethroned from that position. You can see that they were died in a war. Samuel was given the high priest position. He was not only the high priest, he was also the judge, which means he takes the laws. He decides what is law, and his word is the last word in Israel. And he was not only the judge, he was also the prophet of the Lord. You can see that a small boy, her mother's wish was fulfilled, and the small boy's faithfulness was taken account. And you can see he was raised to a biggest position in Israel. He was the first man of Israel. Or you can see from today's language, you can see it as the first citizen of Israel. I am very amazed with Samuel's that mentality, that attitude. The other one amazed me was Daniel. The thing with Daniel is very much interesting actually. When you read the Bible, the book of Daniel, you can find that Daniel was a small boy taken from Israel. Actually, it's like they were invaded actually, and they taken as slaves. So Hebrew boys, you can see that they are very good, intelligent children. They're very intelligent. They are responsible for everything and very reliable persons actually. So they will become the best gentlemen of Israel. So Nebuchadnezzar wanted these kids as an official because they are very reliable actually. They can be given a lot of responsibilities actually, and you can see in the first chapters you can see the person in charge actually wanted to give them food that was offered to the temple at Baal, and the Babylon temples, because you can see that it was offered to the gods of the idols of the temple actually, the Babylon idols. It is corrupted actually. It is not good for a Hebrew. A Hebrew should maintain a personal discipline. He is the people of the God, Yahuwah, and they should not be corrupted by the other things that of this world. So Daniel kept him and his friends out of this corruption and kept him as pure as possible, and that gave him the best position. He was called by the Lord as his most favorite person in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, it was given to John, but only one person was named that my beloved Daniel. You everything. His faithfulness to the Lord, he was revealed all the hidden truths of the Lord. He showed him about the great kingdoms who's going to come about, that Babylon, Media Persia, Greece, Roman, and the new kingdoms, everything. He was revealed to the what will happen to the world. He was even revealed the first parts that we will find the remaining parts in the book of Revelations. So these people were ready to maintain their purity, maintain their every values that were taught to them at the earliest ages. That is, all of these values that were taught, they kept it all inside their heart and done it perfectly, that they were given the biggest positions in the society. In the nations, they were holding the highest positions. You can see that these were kids, small kids, actually small kids, and they were just kids who don't know what to do. They were innocent people, innocent kids. They don't know what does not good, what is good, what is evil. But they were told something, some human values, some moral values. They're taught by their parents, and they kept it with inside their heart, and that gave them, that guided them to the success, the great positions they're holding. So you can find that we should teach every child what to do and what not to do. We need Daniels, we need Samuels, we need Moses, not Hophni and Phinehas. These were corrupted. These were not bad persons. These were also kids, but they were bad. They became bad persons. So you have to teach the best values, best social values, best spiritual values, so that you can give a new generation that is very faithful to the Lord and His kingdom. Thank you for listening to my thoughts. Amen.